Eternal relevance of Hinduism. Just as sky, earth, sun, and moon are eternal, so is Hinduism. It is as old as mankind. It will be relevant for centuries to come. It has not been established by a single man and is not confined to a nutshell of single person's teachings. It's a way of life adapting itself to several vital changes and necessitating to the society's needs. It changes its courses like the river Brahmaputra, giving way for newer and modern teachings of religious practices, discarding undesirable practices. When Islam and Christianity spread in other countries, the conversion was wholesome and almost, uh, but not in India. In spite of religious persecution by Muslim and Christian rulers for 8 centuries, the Hindus remained to their loyal religion steadfastly, sacrificing their life, property, and even a good part of their motherland itself. I mean, the creation of Pakistan in the name of religion. Even the converts are still sticking to the same, to some of the important Hindu customs like wearing Mangal Sutra as their thali, wearing sari and applying tilak in the forehead. There is no rigidity in the Hinduism. Conversions and reconversions to Hinduism are of a few centuries origin. There is a lot of flexibility in worship. No fixity of day or time is prescribed for praying to the Almighty. The Almighty can be worshipped in any form, as a male or female, as a child or handsome youth, as a warrior or innocent, as a human or a superman, or mixture of a man, animal. He can worship the nature, that is the five elements, Panjabhudam, and it is in environs. Tolerance is the essence of Hinduism. It, the other religions, in other religions, subsects are war path with each other. A Catholic is not welcome in a Protestant churches during service, and a Sunni is not welcome to pray in a Shia mosque. But in the Hinduism, it is ordained that all must visit at least Mathura, Kanchi, Dwaraka, Kasi, and Rameswaram, spread across the four corners of the country. Worship both Lord Shiva and Vishnu, stressing intersectoral harmony and also the national integration long before the term was coined. The great teachings of Hinduism is not confined to one book or one language. Vedas, Puranas, and Shastras alone are not followed. There were numerous great religious teachings in every part of the land, like Shankaracharya, Ramanujar, and Madhva, each one preaching a different philosophical thought. Yoga worship was slowly given up after the advent of Buddhist Yaga. Yaga worship was slowly given up after the advent of Buddhism. Animal sacrifice and mainly cow sacrifice was given after the advent of Mahavir and Buddha. Now we have almost given up the Varnashram and Manusmriti. In the last 10 centuries, bhajans, kirtans have assumed significance in the mode of worship. The classical and also living in a vibrating language of Tamil is known as devotional language by the Britishers. The temple is not a mere place of religious worship. It is also a social institution in so many ways. In the long corridors, schools were conducted prior to the British period. They were used as granaries, provided shelter during floods and rainy season. Center for poor feeding, no difference between rich and poor. Center for growth of arts and crafts. The Cholas built monumental and magnificent temples for the god and built only small palaces for themselves. Hinduism is attracting simple, innocent Europeans and Americans, as is seen from the Hare Krishna movement, even in the rigid Russian country. Therefore, Hinduism will live forever and will be relevant for centuries to come due to the flexibility, adaptability, tolerance, sacrificial qualities, and other great virtues.